board would like to recognize Meg Dyer. Oh, there you are.
Good evening. My name is Meg Dyer, and I live on Rosewood Court. I have 2 children in the district. I'm also a substitute and a reading tutor, and I guess I'd like to tell some of my students sitting right here that this is a good way to show that it's all right to respectfully disagree with something. I'd like to talk to you about the proposal to eliminate grades for homework. And I have had an opportunity to speak to one of the board members about this, so this is not a huge surprise. But I was very concerned when I saw the information in the newspaper as well as on the district website about the proposal to eliminate assigning grades to homework throughout the district. First of all, I haven't seen any data to show that the current grading policy is a problem for Middletown. For that matter, I'm not really clear as to exactly what the problem is that this proposed policy is trying to solve. If there are specific concerns with homework practices by specific teachers, then deal with that without changing a district-wide policy. I've had a number of experiences in the last several years where the administration has tried to force curriculum changes in the district just based on outside research or data that has nothing to do with the Middletown district. I'd like to share some of my experiences within this district. Whenever I've substituted in the junior high school, students have always asked, as I've passed the papers out that the teachers have left, is this going to be graded? And if not, am I going to have to do it as homework? One time I made the mistake of saying, I don't know. What happened then was a number of the students turned the paper over and didn't do the work. They weren't putting it off till later, they just weren't going to do it. So now I answer yes. But the problem is, for a number of the students, the only motivation is if they're going to get a grade for something. And so that really is the only reason why a lot of the students do the work. Is this all the students? No. But is it a good number? I think so. Now, in a perfect world, all students would go to school every day prepared and excited to learn. They would look forward to continuing that process at home every night by doing activities to reinforce their learning. They'd have parents that are involved and care about working as a team with the teachers to make sure their children get the most out of the educational opportunity. Middletown is not the perfect world. No place is. But we know that Middletown is not. And if students don't take homework home, and many of them don't even when it is going to be for a grade, then the parent-teacher communication is going to break down even more. If teachers are to, and I'm quoting from the proposed policy, differentiate homework assignments by taking into consideration students' access to educational and technological resources, how are the teachers supposed to get this data about their students? Is it even remotely appropriate to be asking students if they have computers at home, or if they have parents who can or choose to make resource materials available? Are we actually expecting students to do less because they and their parents have less? Isn't it somewhat patronizing to assume that students can't do as much because they don't have the same things at home to work with? And what is the responsibility for the parents and guardians to respond to the descriptive feedback that the teachers would be expected to provide on the homework? Additionally, if the levy doesn't pass in August, we end up with a shorter school day. Are we actually saying that teachers should take more instructional time to give quizzes in order to have a reasonable number of grades to fairly evaluate their students' progress? If we have a shorter school day, I would actually expect more work to be done at home by the students. So in summary, I'm getting to the summary, we're here to address educational issues and advance the educational abilities of our students. This proposal, I fear, focuses more on social and economic issues of the community and gives the clear implication that it's okay to have different expectations based on the homes in which students live. The state tests don't account for these differences, and neither do universities or future employers. It's time for families to be responsible for education and to stop leaving it up to the teachers. The motivation and desire to learn should start at home, and removing grades from homework seems to be yet another way to send the message that the only learning a student should do is during regular school hours, which leaves the sole responsibility for that learning to the teachers. Please, let's not lower expectations. This is not the way to raise the achievement level of the students in this district. Thank you for your time.